Well, last night, the South Lake Tahoe City Council adopted a new vacation home rental ordinance in place of the recently overturned Measure T.
News 4 Sophie Lincoln has been following this story as it continues to unfold and has the latest for us tonight.
7 years since Measure T was passed in South Lake Tahoe, effectively banning vacation home rentals, or VHRs, in most of the city, homeowners can now apply for a permit to once again open their doors and rent their homes to guests. The contentious Measure T was overturned in March after the El Dorado County Superior Court found that it violated the Constitution's Dormant Commerce Clause by favoring local residents over out-of-state homeowners. Since then, the city has met several times to come up with a new ordinance that addresses the community's concerns, ultimately creating and adopting the new ordinance.
There certainly is a contingency of residents that have concerns over the impacts of vacation rentals on the neighborhoods. And so our city council, they've had some very robust discussions about that to try to mitigate those concerns as best they can.
Some of the stipulations of the city's new ordinance that weren't in place before Measure T include a 150 feet buffer zone between VHRs to avoid clustering, as well as in-person check-ins for guests and more measures to allow enforcement.
There were some additions such as noise monitors and cameras, which, while maybe seems a little arduous to some people, will go a long way in helping to create a better overall atmosphere and neighborhood peace.
The group that initially brought Measure T back in 2018, the Tahoe Neighborhoods Group, has filed an appeal to the court's overturning of Measure T. In a statement, chair of that group, Peggy Borland, wrote, quote, "The majority of the South Lake Tahoe City Council has taken steps to reinstate a slightly more restrictive VHR program. Last night's second reading of the new ordinance places the city at odds with the Tahoe Neighborhoods Group, who on June 11th filed a notice of appeal to the court," end quote. Reporting in South Lake Tahoe, Sophie Lincoln.